Charms, my name is Hilya and welcome to my channel. Today is going to be a little bit more of a chill, low-key video for two reasons. Number one, as you can probably tell from the background change, I am not at home. I am currently visiting my parents. And the second reason, this month I started taking new medicine and adjusting to it has been a little bit difficult. Like, I've been getting a little bit of side effects. My sleep schedule being completely messed up. I've also found it a little bit hard to find motivation to read or do different things, which is why I'm just doing a sit down and talk a little bit about my reading this month. And what this video is going to entail is just me talking about the Magical Readathon and my first year participating in it. If you do not know about this readathon, I will link down G's video where she goes over the basics and like what steps you need to take in order to participate yourself. But in short, this is a readathon where you create this fantasy character based on all this lore that G has come up with. Like, there's different races, there's different continents. It's really cool, and I'm just like blown away by the effort that G has gone through for this readathon. And it's just like, whoa. It is just so cool. And in this readathon, you go to this magical school named Aurelium, where you can decide what career path or calling, I think it's called, you want to pursue. So there's a list of a bunch of different options that you can choose from, and I decided to go with Star Whisperer. That honestly just sounds so much like something I enjoy. I love space and like stars and the universe and all of that. I love that stuff. So when I saw that, I was like, immediately knew that that is what I was going to choose. As for my character, his name is Emrys, and he is an elf. And in this universe, elves are more connected to like the stars and the universe and stuff. So that is also why I chose to do an elf. I actually did draw him. I'm gonna put up a picture of my art of him. So also in this school, you sort of get sorted into one of these 4 houses. And the one that I got is the Order of the Crescent, which is basically all about nature and animals and all of that. When you get sorted into this house, you also get a animal companion or familiar. And I just gave Emrys a little cute cat because I love cats and I want to live my fantasies through this readathon. I just want to be an elf with my cat looking up at the stars and having a grand old time. And so how this readathon works is that there are 2 month-long readathons. The spring equinox in April and the autumn equinox in August. The spring equinox is a little bit easier. In there you have a little bit less prompts. And then in the autumn equinox, it's like exam season pretty much. So there are different grades that you need to achieve for your career. So for example, as a Star Whisperer, I need to get the highest grade for 2 subjects, which means that I need to read 3 books for those subjects. But then for other subjects, I only need to get the lowest grade, so I only need to read 1 book for those. So in the autumn equinox, for Star Whisperer, I have 4 different classes or schools of magic. Those are Art of Illusion, Astronomy, Lore, and Psionics and Divination. There are 3 different grades that you can get for a subject. The lowest grade is O, which stands for Ordinary. The next grade is Q, which means Qualified. And the highest grade is D, which is Distinguished. And so for me, for example, I need a D in Astronomy, which means that I need to complete all 3 of those grades in order to pass. So I'm just gonna go over the prompts for all of my classes and what books I've picked for them. My first prompt is for Art of Illusion, and I only need to get an Ordinary, so it's just 1 book. The course focus for O is Levitation Spell, and the prompt for that is to read a book without touching the floor or ground. So basically like floor is lava. This is a fun prompt because you can basically pick whatever book you want for that and then just not touch the ground while you read that. I went with A Tempest of Emerald Dream, and I actually have finished this book already. I think this was the first book I finished in August. However, I'm not gonna go too in depth in like a review for it because the author has actually stated that he wants to unpublish this book and rewrite it completely. So, you know, I don't want to like be like, oh, this book was bad because this and this and this. Not that the book was bad, I did like it. So I'm definitely gonna want to read the rewritten version of this book as well. For astronomy, I need a D. I need to fulfill all the grades, so O, Q, and D. For O, the course focus is Moon Song Ritual, and the prompt for this was to go on Spotify or whatever platform you use to listen music to. Take a look at the last song that you listened to, and basically a word from the song needs to also be in the book's title. So for me, I got I Guess This Is My Life Now. I had to find a book that has one of those words in the title, and I went with I Wish You All the Best by Mason Deaver, and it has the word I in both of them. If you watched my last video, which was a reading vlog, you'll know that I started it in that video, and I haven't finished it, and I absolutely loved it. It's about this non-binary teen who gets kicked out of their home and they have to like start at a new school and everything. And it was just so... it really got to me. I don't read a lot of YA contemporary anymore just because I prefer fantasy and sci-fi, but it is refreshing to read books from that genre every now and then. Then for the grade Qualified, the course focus is lunar alignment, and the prompt for that is to read from a finished series. And the book I chose for that is Haikyuu Volume 2. If you've seen my TBR game video, you'll know that I actually own the entire finished series of Haikyuu, all 45 volumes, and I've never read past volume 1. And for the grade Distinguished, the course focus is Blood Moon, and the prompt for that is a red cover. And I went with K-On! Volume 1. This is a manga about some high school students who are in a music club. And I actually did not have as many red covers as I thought I did. So it's honestly a happy coincidence that I managed to put such a short book on this list. But I watched the anime for this like years ago, so I'm actually pretty excited to read the manga. My next class is lore, and I need to get just an ordinary, so just one prompt. The course focus is Tale of the Guide, and the prompt was to get a bookseller's recommendation. And G also said that librarian recommendation counts as well. I found out that my local library has this form you can fill out on their website where you just tell about what your favorite genres and books are and what you like about them, and also what your least favorite genres and books are and what you dislike about them. And then they give you a list of 10 personalized recommendations. So I did that, and one of the books that I got was Mooncakes, which is a queer, witchy graphic novel, and I already read this one and it was really great, and honestly it feels like it would have been perfect for fall. And like, even though it's not fall yet, it is the autumn equinox, so it fits there perfectly. But if you're looking for a cozy graphic novel to read in the autumn, then Mooncakes might be for you. And my final class that I have is Psionics and Divination, and I need to get a Distinguished. For the grade O, the course focus is Introduction to Tarot, and the prompt is to pull up a random tarot card. This can either be from a physical deck or from a tarot generator online, and then pick a symbol from the card that you get, and then that symbol has to be on the cover of your book. And I got the Ace of Cups. This card has a lot of different symbols that I could pick from. There's the hand, there's obviously the cup, there's the water, and I went with the water. for Heaven Official's Blessing Volume 3. And I am actually currently in the middle of this book. By the time this video comes out, I hopefully am finished with this one. Then for the grade Distinguished, the course focus is Reading the Future. And the prompt is a book set in the future. And for that, I went with Cinder. It's a YA sci-fi Cinderella retelling with like androids and stuff. If androids doesn't mean future, then I don't know what to say. The final required prompt is for the grade Distinguished, where the course focus is Omen Lily, and the prompt was Lily on the cover or title or in the author's name. Now this proved to be pretty difficult for me, but luckily G put out a recommendation video where she went over some books for the harder prompts, and in there I found the book The Prison Healer, and I'm reading that for this prompt. So those are all the books that I'm required to read in order to finish my first year as a Star Whisperer. So even though the beginning of the month has been a little bit meh, I actually do still think that it is doable. Because I'm me and I never know when to quit, I also thought that I maybe want to do some extra prompts. The only one that I have a book in mind for is the Impling Summoning side quest. This is a challenge where there are like a bunch of different prompts, and if you find a book that fits all of the prompts, then you only need to read one book for it. But if you don't, then you sort of have to like combine them and then like read 2 books or 3 books or however many. But I found one that fit all of the prompts. The prompts are a book that's between 400 and 450 pages, which this is, just barely over 400 pages. One letter appears twice. For example, the T. There's a T in the and in Mitford. Released this or last year. According to Goodreads, this was released last year. Blue on the cover. It is quite blue. And Start at Night, which, you know, I'm gonna control that one myself. Read from before author. This is a book in the Mitford murder series. So I've read the books before this one, so I have read from this author before. There are other extra things, like some of the opportunities and qualifications, and I think last week people like collectively came up with a new quest which involves like cats or something, but those were all the books that I have in mind specifically. Here is the stack of the books that I have with me here at my parents' house. Like honestly, it's not too bad. Like I know that I have 8 required books. I can do it. I can do it just fine. If you're participating in this readathon, I would love to know in the comments down below. Feel free to just like info dump about your character, or you can tell me what calling you're pursuing, if you're on top or behind on your reading schedule. As is pretty apparent, I am a little bit behind this month. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up, and I hope to see you again very soon.